A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a bold move that has stirred significant debate, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has unveiled plans to increase the UK's defence spending to 2.5% of national income by the year 2027. This announcement comes as peace talks aimed at resolving the ongoing war in Ukraine gain momentum. Currently, the UK's defence expenditure stands at 2.3% of GDP, and the Prime Minister has indicated that funding for this increase will come from a reduction in the international aid budget. The proposed cut will see the UK's aid budget decrease from 0.5% to 0.3% of gross national income by 2027. This decision has been met with mixed reactions, with opposition parties expressing support for increased defense spending while charities have labeled the aid cuts as a betrayal. The timing of this announcement is particularly significant, as it precedes a crucial meeting between Sir Keir and US President Donald Trump at the White House, where Trump has been advocating for European nations to bolster their defense budgets. US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth praised the UK's commitment to increasing defense spending, describing it as a strong step from an enduring partner. The Prime Minister emphasized that the increase in defense spending would translate to an additional £13.4 billion allocated to the armed forces annually from 2027. Last year, the UK spent £53.9 billion on defense, and Sir Keir has stated that spending could rise to 2.6% of GDP by 2027 when accounting for intelligence services contributions. He urged European allies to follow suit, expressing a clear ambition to reach 3% of GDP for defense spending after the next general election. During a press conference, Sir Keir explained that this decision was not made lightly, citing the grave threats the UK faces in a dangerous new era. While he acknowledged that pressure from Trump had played a role in accelerating his decision-making process, he insisted that the choice was ultimately his own, based on a thorough assessment of the circumstances. The Prime Minister's announcement has drawn criticism from various quarters. Charities, including Save the Children, have condemned the reduction in aid, arguing that it undermines the UK's commitment to supporting the world's most vulnerable populations. Labour MP Sarah Champion, chair of the Commons International Development Committee, called for a reconsideration of the decision, stating that cutting aid to fund defense is a false economy that could lead to increased global instability. In response to the backlash, Sir Keir defended his decision, stating that conflict is a primary driver of migration and poverty. The increase in defense spending is seen as necessary to address the challenges faced by the UK's armed forces, which have experienced significant cuts since the Cold War. However, experts warn that this increase will not fully reverse the decline in military capability, with the Ministry of Defence already facing a £17 billion shortfall in its equipment budget over the next decade. Malcolm Chalmers, Deputy Director of the Royal United Services Institute, noted that while the increase will help address urgent shortages in munitions and underfunded programs, it will also allow for long-term planning and innovation within the military. Dr. Simon Anglam from King's College London emphasized that a 3% GDP defense spending target is the minimum required to deter potential threats, particularly from Russia. Sir Keir had previously indicated that a pathway to 2.5% spending would be outlined in the lead-up to the next general election, but recent diplomatic developments have added urgency to the decision-making process. The Prime Minister's upcoming trip to the White House follows discussions between President Trump and French President Emmanuel Macron, highlighting the collaborative efforts among Western leaders to enhance security measures in response to Russian aggression. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch welcomed the increase in defense spending but raised concerns about the government's economic strategy to support this rise. The Liberal Democrats have called for cross-party discussions to expedite reaching the 3% target, while SNP Westminster leader Stephen Flynn expressed support for increased defense spending but opposed funding it through cuts to aid. As the UK navigates these complex issues, the pressure is on to develop a robust defense strategy that balances national security needs with humanitarian responsibilities. With NATO expecting a majority of its members to meet the 2% GDP defense spending target by 2024, the UK's commitment to increasing its defense budget signals a significant shift in policy amidst growing global tensions and uncertainty. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.